911.
I've been shot.
You've been shot. Where are you at, ma'am?
I'm 8 months pregnant.
How'd this happen?
I was following my baby's daddy, Rae Carruth, a football player.
It started the night she called 911, but it didn't. You could say it started when he made the league, the contracts, the cameras, the promise, but it didn't. Or maybe it started the day she decided to keep the baby. That's closer. What's true is this: there was a choice. Their choices didn't just change lives, they exposed them. This is Timeline Unfolded. Cherica Adams was born in Charlotte, North Carolina on June 30, 1975. Her mother Sandra was just 18, still a high school senior, but determined to give her daughter the life she never had. From the start, they were inseparable. More than just mother and daughter, they were a team. As Sandra would say, "My heart beat before I even knew her name." Growing up, Cherica had a natural light. She was bright, sweet, and always smiling, the kind of girl who made space for everyone. Friends called her magnetic. Her family called her Cookie. It was a childhood nickname that stuck, a nod to the sweetness she carried into every room. In high school, Cherica came into her own. She danced on the field as a letter girl. She joined SAVE, Students Against Violence Everywhere, because she believed kindness was a choice. And in the quiet moments, she left herself notes, handwritten affirmations taped to the mirror. Be your best. Love without fear. Keep going. Cherica tried college. She was the first in her family to go, enrolling at Winston-Salem State to study communications. But after a year, her ambition pulled her in a different direction. She came home to Charlotte and started building a life, first in real estate, then modeling, even managing a local rap group her brother was part of. She was young, yes, but driven, focused, and fully independent. By her early 20s, she had earned her real estate license, joined a top home builder in the city, and was already selling million-dollar homes. Not just a face, a force, the youngest agent in her office, the one clients remembered. She took pride in how she presented herself. She hustled, at work, on the runway, and in life. And when money was tight, she picked up side work, performing at a Charlotte club. Not for flash, for stability, for her future. Cherica wasn't chasing attention. She was building something, for herself, and eventually for a family of her own. In 1998, at a pool party in Charlotte, she met Rae Carruth, a soft-spoken NFL wide receiver. They dated, casually, on and off. Rae Carruth was born Ray Lamar Wiggins on January 20, 1974, in Sacramento, California. He would later take the last name Carruth from his stepfather, Samuel Carruth, who helped raise him. His mother, Theodore Carruth, worked hard to provide for Ray and his sibling. They lived in Oak Park, a neighborhood known for poverty and violence. Ray's early life wasn't easy, but even as a young boy, he was focused, always talking about football, always saying he wanted to be famous. At Valley High School in Sacramento, Ray's speed made him stand out. He nearly lost his eligibility due to grades, but retook classes and brought up his GPA. That academic push earned him a football scholarship to the University of Colorado. At Colorado, Carruth became a star wide receiver. In his junior and senior years, he posted back-to-back 1,000-yard seasons. He was named a first-team All-American in 1996 and graduated with a degree in English. In 1997, Rae Carruth was drafted in the first round by the Carolina Panthers, 27th overall. His rookie season was strong, 44 catches, 545 yards, 4 touchdowns. But in 1998, a broken foot ended his season early. In 1999, an ankle injury sidelined him again. Off the field, Rae maintained a clean image, no criminal record, no known drug or alcohol use. He participated in youth programs and was involved in community charity events. But his personal life was more complicated. In college, he had a son with a former girlfriend, Michelle Wright. After a court case, he agreed to pay child support, around $3,000 per month. By 1999, Rae Carruth was under pressure. His NFL future was uncertain. Injuries had sidelined him 2 seasons in a row. Off the field, things weren't much better. He'd lost money in a failed business deal and was facing a lawsuit over a house contract gone wrong. That same year, he was seeing Cherica Adams. They'd met the summer before, at a pool party in Charlotte. The relationship was casual, on and off. But something real had begun, and before long, everything would change. It changed in early 1999, when Cherica found out she was pregnant. She chose to keep the baby, and she chose to love him, fully and without condition. She named him Chancellor Lee before he was even born. She said it sounded regal, strong, like a boy meant to lead. Every night, she read to him, played classical music through speakers pressed to her belly, sang Bible verses softly in the dark. She wanted him to grow up knowing music, knowing kindness, and knowing her voice. Cherica's mother Sandra stated, "She told me, I don't need a husband, I need a son who's loved." By the fall of 1999, Cherica was 8 months pregnant. She'd had her baby shower, picked out a name, written out a birth plan, moved into a 3-bedroom home, 1 room just for Chancellor, another for her mom, who would help once the baby arrived. She was 24 years old, and finally stepping into the life she dreamed of. She didn't ask for fame, she didn't ask for headline. She just wanted him to show up. And at first, he did. Rae Carruth went to early doctor appointment, even attended a Lamaze class. But by her 3rd trimester, he had started pulling away. He stopped coming to checkup, became distant, quiet. Off the field, Rae was under pressure, a broken foot, a sprained ankle. 2 injury-plagued seasons had left his NFL future in question. Behind the scene, he was being sued over a failed housing deal. He'd already been paying child support for a son from college, and now, another child on the way. A former girlfriend would later testify, Rae didn't want more kids, he didn't want more support payments, and he was scared. But Cherica stayed hopeful. She still believed Rae might come around, that they could co-parent, that love, or at least responsibility, would be enough. On November 15, 1999, Rae invited her to a movie. She said yes, dressed up, 8 months pregnant and glowing. Maybe this was a step forward. Maybe finally he was ready. But what she got was silence, and then something far worse. Because by then, Rae Carruth wasn't just pulling away, he was planning something Cherica couldn't see coming. She had no idea what was coming, not that night, not from him. Cherica Adams believed it was just a movie, just a drive, a small step forward from the man she hoped might still show up. Something had changed, just not in the way she thought. In the weeks leading up to that night, Rae Carruth wasn't pulling away. He was putting a plan in place, a plan to make Cherica disappear. The man he chose to help him, Van Brett Watkins, a bouncer, a convicted felon, a man who, by his own words, had done this before. Carruth asked him to kill Cherica and the baby. Testimony later revealed the offer, $5,000 if both were gone, $3,000 if just the baby died. There were others involved. Michael Kennedy, the driver, Stanley Abraham, the lookout. All 3 were promised a cut. Cell phone records showed them in constant contact, cash withdrawals, meeting points, rental car, a slow-motion conspiracy hidden in plain sight. Carruth was already paying support for a son from college, $3,000 a month. Injuries had stalled his career, lawsuits were mounting, and now, another child. He told a former girlfriend, "Don't make me send somebody to kill you, you know I'll do it." He joked about the mother of his first son dying in a car crash so he wouldn't have to pay her anymore. To Rae, fatherhood wasn't a privilege, it was a threat. In the weeks before November 15th, the plan kept shifting. At first, Watkins was supposed to hide in Rae's trunk, then at a Lamaze class, then at a breakfast spot. Each time it fell through. But by mid-November, Rae was out of time. Cherica's due date was weeks away. He needed it done. Now, dinner, a movie, the bone collector. They took separate cars, Rae in front, Cherica following in her black BMW. She thought it was a date. He knew it was the setup. Meanwhile, Watkins, Kennedy, and Abraham trailed behind, in a rented Nissan Maxima, gun loaded, lights off. After the movie, they all converged. A quiet stretch of rear road, just after midnight. Rae's SUV slowed and stopped. Cherica, confused, braked behind him. 1 lane, no room to pass. Then from behind, another car swerved up alongside her. Driver's side, window to window. Van Brett Watkins was in the back seat. He pointed a .357 revolver at her car. In Rae's rearview mirror, a clear view. He didn't get out, he didn't honk, he didn't help. He just sat there and let it happen. Cherica never knew this was coming. She never had a chance. November 15, 1999, just after midnight, Rhea Road, South Charlotte. She was driving home 8 months pregnant, following the father of her child, thinking maybe this was a step forward, but it wasn't. It was a setup. Rae's SUV slowed in front of her, no warning, no signal, just stopped mid-lane. Cherica braked behind him, then another car pulled up beside her. Lights off, windows down, gun raised. 4 bullets ripped through her car, through her body, 1 in her neck, 3 in her back. Her BMW veered off the road and into a stranger's driveway. She was bleeding, alone, but somehow still conscious.
911.
I've been shot.
You've been shot. Where are you at, ma'am?
I'm 8 months pregnant.
How'd this happen?
I was following my baby daddy, Rae Carruth, a football player.
Where's he
was
at?
in the car in front of me, and he slowed down, and somebody pulled up beside me and did this.
And then where'd he go?
He just left. I think he did it. I don't know what to think of.
Okay. Ma'am, can you give me any information about what kind of car it was?
No.
Where's your husband at?
I don't have one.
Or your boyfriend, the one you said that was with you? Where's he
He was
at?
in the car in front of me, and he slowed down, and somebody pulled up beside me and did this.
And then where'd he go?
He just left.
Okay. All right, what's his name?
Rae Carruth. He played for the Panthers.
Okay, what's his name?
Rae Carruth.
Rae
Number
Carruth.
89.
The 911 call. At 12:31 a.m., she dialed 911, bleeding, struggling to breathe, and still thinking about saving her son. She started the 911 call by stating, "I've been shot. I'm 8 months pregnant. It was Rae. He just drove off. I think he did it." Her voice was faint, but she was clear, focused. She stayed on the line for 12 minutes, until help arrived. Paramedics found her slumped in the driver's seat, still conscious, still fighting. At 1:10 a.m., Cherica Adams was rushed into emergency surgery. Her injuries were catastrophic, but her baby still had a heartbeat. Doctors made the call. They had to deliver now, an emergency C-section. He was born tiny, barely 3 pounds, blue from lack of oxygen, but alive. She had saved him. She named him Chancellor Lee Adams before he was ever born. Said the name sounded regal, strong, and now he would need every ounce of that strength. For a few hours, she held on, weak, intubated, unable to speak. But she still had something to say. Around 7 a.m., Cherica motioned for pen and paper, and with shaking hands, she wrote down what happened. Rae's name, the shooting, the setup. She made sure they knew, in her own words. Then she slipped into a coma. Her son Chancellor was alive, but doctors warned of severe brain damage. Too long without oxygen. His future was uncertain, but he had a heartbeat. Just like his mother, steady, resilient. Cherica's mother stated, "They told me she saved him. Without that 911 call, Chancellor wouldn't have made it. My daughter, dying alone in her car, she thought about saving her son." It was the first and only time Cherica held her baby. She never woke again. What happened that night was at random. It wasn't a robbery. It was a choice. And Rae planned it. The police would arrest and charge Rae Carruth. On December 14, 1999, Cherica Adams died from her injuries. 28 days after the shooting, she was 24 years old. That same day, Rae Carruth disappeared. He had been out on a $3 million bond, and he had agreed if Cherica died he would turn himself in. But when the news broke, Rae ran. He cut off contact, vanished from Charlotte, police couldn't find him, and the clock kept ticking. 4 days passed, no answers, no Rae. With Carruth now facing first-degree murder, federal authorities stepped in. The FBI and U.S. Marshals joined the manhunt. A nationwide alert was issued. The case had just crossed state line. 4 days after he fled, a tip led agents to a motel off I-40 in rural Tennessee. They found Rae Carruth hiding in the trunk of a Toyota Camry, parked outside the motel, engine cold, lights off. Inside, $3,900 in cash, bottled urine, granola bars, a cell phone. The former NFL star had planned to vanish. Instead, he surrendered quietly, handcuffed and hauled out of a trunk. That same week, prosecutors upgraded the charge, first-degree murder. Carruth was denied bond. He would remain in custody until trial. The manhunt was over, but the real reckoning was still to come. On October 23, 2000, nearly a year after the shooting, Rae Carruth walked into a North Carolina courtroom as the most infamous defendant the city of Charlotte had ever seen. The charge, first-degree murder. The victim, Cherica Adams. And the star witness, the man he hired to kill her. Van Brett Watkins, the admitted gunman, took the stand first. He told his background in crime and the murder of Cherica Adams.
You also threatened to kill a police officer.
2 police officers. I could kill you with my hands. I would rip you like a rag doll. Okay?
Did you say, I hope the bitch dies?
That's the bitch I was talking about.
Oh, I see.
Rae Carruth.
Oh.
That's the bitch I was referring to, who got me into this. I fired 1 shot, then 4 more shots. Bam, 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 bam.
Cold, direct, unflinching. He accepted a plea deal and testified against Rae Carruth that he was paid to kill her and her unborn child, that Carruth panicked after a failed attempt and set a final trap. Prosecutors backed it all with records, phone call, texts, cash withdrawals, surveillance footage, and Cherica's own 911 call. A dying woman naming the man who left her behind. Then came Michelle Wright, Rae's ex from college. She said Rae didn't want another child, that he'd once joked about her dying in a car crash, so he wouldn't have to pay child support anymore. And finally, Michael Kennedy, the driver. He testified against Rae Carruth. Cherica's mother sat every day in that courtroom, the woman now raising Chancellor Lee. Rae never took the stand. His attorneys argued he was scared, not guilty, that Watkins acted alone. Carruth panicked, yes, but never ordered a hit. The jury deliberated for 4 days. And then, on January 19, 2001, they delivered the verdict. Rae Carruth was found not guilty of first-degree murder, guilty of conspiracy to commit murder, guilty of shooting into occupied property, guilty of using an instrument to destroy an unborn child. The maximum penalty, up to 24 years in prison. He was sentenced to 18 years and 11 months. No reaction for Ruth, no apology, just silence. But outside, Sandra Adams stood tall. Justice was served, she said. Not perfect, but enough to move forward. Rae Carruth entered prison in January 2001. Inmate Natchez 0002781, formerly 0712822 in some record. Convicted of conspiracy to commit murder, sentenced to 18 years and 11 months. He served nearly every day. On October 20, 2018, just after 8 a.m., Rae Carruth walked free, a white Chevy Tahoe waiting at the curb. He changed his name, moved to Pennsylvania, and vanished from the public eye. Rae's statement on a phone call, "I'm apologizing for the loss of her daughter," he said. "I just want her to know that truly, I am sorry." He called Cherica's death a nightmare and her son Chancellor a miracle. Months before his release, Carruth sent a 15-page letter to Sandra Adams. He said he wanted to raise Chancellor, that he deserved the chance to be a father. Public backlash was swift. He withdrew the request. "I will no longer pursue a relationship with Chancellor or Ms. Adams," he wrote. "I now see it's in everyone's best interest." While Carruth disappeared, Sandra Adams stayed visible, raising the boy her daughter died to protect, teaching him to walk, to speak, to love. Every morning, they called Cherica Mommy Angel. Chancellor Lee Adams defied every prediction. Born with cerebral palsy, brain damage, doctors said he might never walk or speak. But in 2021, he graduated high school. In 2018, the Carolina Panthers brought them onto the field. The team that once drafted Rae Carruth now stood behind the family he tried to erase. Sandra stated, "I had to forgive him," she said. "There's no way you can raise someone's child and hate them." She visits prison, speaks on stages. Her message is simple: forgiveness isn't weakness, it's peace. Cherica LeBron Adams never asked for fame, never asked for headlines. She asked for love, for her son to live, and in the end, he did. Chancellor Lee Adams is now 26. He lives with his grandmother in Charlotte. Together they honor Cherica's memory every day. Rae Carruth tried to disappear, But the legacy he tried to silence found its voice, and it sounds a lot like Cherica. Cherica Adams never saw herself as a headline. She wasn't famous, she wasn't chasing attention, she was a daughter, a soon-to-be mother, a woman building a life, one of independence, faith, and love. When she became pregnant, she didn't flinch. She prepared a nursery. She played music to her belly. She named her son, Chancellor Lee, before he was born because she believed he was meant to live. And in the end, she made sure he did.
I was following my baby daddy, Rae Carruth, the football player.
Where's he at?
was in the car in front of me, and he slowed down, and somebody pulled up beside me and did this.
Her voice, broken but clear, became evidence, became truth, and became the reason her son took his first breath. Chancellor Lee Adams survived, born with cerebral palsy and brain damage, but he walked. He smiled. He graduated high school in 2021. Raised by Sandra Adams, the grandmother who chose forgiveness over bitterness and carried her daughter's love forward every single day. Rae Carruth was released from prison in 2018. He served nearly 19 years. He has not had contact with Chancellor since. This wasn't Rae Carruth's story. It never was. This was Cherica's, a woman whose final act was one of unimaginable courage, and whose legacy walks beside us every step of the way. This is Timeline Unfolded.